All right, folks, we will move it up to 2024 and 2025, of course. Maxwell Roy, Steve, was a prime get from the last week defensive lineman. And the Penn State reach doesn't make its way all the way to Philadelphia much of the time. So that's a prime area and has been for the Buckeyes.
No question. Maxwell Roy, he is the latest guy in this Philadelphia St. Joe's prep pipeline, following Kyle McCord and Marvin Harrison Jr. to Ohio State. Maxwell Roy, he looks the part, 6'3", 285-pound defensive lineman. He is ranked number 152, and he's the number 19 interior defensive lineman in the country. And a great get, obviously, for Ohio State. Larry Johnson just continues to stack up the talent there on the defensive line. Michigan, Rutgers. Oh, excuse me. I'm dying. Michigan and Rutgers were also right there in the mix for him. He took visits to those schools. And certainly Penn State missing out on a guy who's one of the top 5 players in Pennsylvania for the upcoming season. They had offered him, I'm just going through his offers, USC, Texas A&M, Oregon, Georgia. So he had everybody in the country after him. And Maxwell Roy picks Ohio State, latest defensive lineman. Obviously, that happened on Monday. And again, Larry Johnson is on a downhill roll. If he adds Justin Hill today, this will be quite a defensive line class, certainly for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, and certainly a defensive lineman with Trajen Odom, a guy who committed a couple days after the show last week, so we didn't catch up to him. 40th rated defensive lineman and a top 10 player out of the state of North Carolina, where the Buckeyes have done pretty well in recent years.
Yeah, Trajen, he's a little farther down the line in terms of the national rankings. Probably number 283 is what I'm reading here with the composite, and number 31 interior defensive lineman. And his commitment kind of came out of left field a little bit last week, but he had some great offers as well. He had visited USC, Oregon, and UCLA, as well as Ohio State. Alabama had offered him. So he's a bigger guy as well, in that 6'4", 285 range. So they have really done an outstanding job plugging the gap that they really have their defensive tackle. They're going to have Tyleik Williams and Ty Hamilton playing there this year, but those guys will be gone after this upcoming season. His junior season, Trajen Odom had 22 tackles for loss and 54 tackles. So he's a very active defensive tackle. And to me, again, you can't have enough big guys who can run and make plays. And in this case, a nimble guy that can shoot gaps and gum up the run game, and also put a little bit of pressure on the opposing quarterback, collapse the pocket up the middle. That's what Ohio State has kind of lacked here, I think, here in recent years with some defensive tackle play. And I am interested to see. I wouldn't expect Odom to come in and be a guy that they're counting on to be a difference maker, in 2025, but maybe in 26, 27, 28, he's a guy that could really make some things happen for the Buckeyes. So yeah, I think again, filling a position of need is obviously very important, and I look at that certainly with what they were able to do there.
Steve, it seems to be a bit of a trend that Ohio State, even going back to Jim Tressel and Urban Meyer, filling out the bottom, or what could be program players, could turn out to be impactful players, depending. But usually the bottom of the recruiting rankings in regards to any particular class goes the Ohio State in-state route, and you get a tight end in Brody Lennon, who's 34th rated, and he's a Buckeye.
Yeah, the number 34 tight end in the country. So that doesn't, necessarily wow you that much. They had him at camp. Let's see, it would have been in late June, mid to late June. I was there the one day that Brody Lennon was there working out with Keenan Bailey. And I know that Chip Kelly came down to that field and watched him and Ryan Day as well. And they all put their minds together and decided that they needed to offer Brody Lennon, and he subsequently has committed to the Buckeyes. He caught 32 passes and had 11 touchdowns during his junior season. He plays at Gilmore Academy, which is in Gates Mills, Ohio, up in the Cleveland area. And again, they're going to play probably Division II, Division III, Division IV type schools up in that area, Gilmore Academy. And he's a guy that, a bright guy that's going to come in and fill a role there at the tight end, bring his lunch pail. He's going to be a guy that's going to catch a few passes, but is also going to be counted on in the blocking game as he grows and develops. He took visits to several really good places recently, Missouri, Wisconsin, and Kentucky, where his other finalists took visits to all of them in the month of June. But it was Ohio State, his last visit on June 21st, that settled it for him. He committed, I think, almost on the spot or right after, I guess, his visit. So, congrats to Brody Lennon, another Ohio guy in this class. And as I kind of look at the makeup of this class, my goodness, I mean, it just grows by the day. If they get Justin Hill today, that would give them 23 verbal commitments, and it's only July 3rd. The guys can't sign until sometime in December. I think maybe they moved that up to earlier December for the signing day. So Justin Hill would be 23, and Justin Hill would be the 9th guy from Ohio. So just under 50% of the class from the state of Ohio. And I think that they are still going to sign another 3, 4, maybe even 5 more guys and get up to 27 or 28. I wonder if Ryan Day and the coaching staff are operating under some assumption that the NCAA is going to lift the 85 scholarship restriction, as has been kind of rumored around with the proliferation of NIL, and take it to 90 or 95. And they're figuring that they can take some extra guys in this class. Certainly there'll be some juniors that are on the current Ohio State team that are going to leave after the upcoming season. I would think Quinshon Judkins, for example, will be leaving. I would think Josh Simmons, the offensive tackle, if he has the kind of year that he's hoping to have, would leave as well for the NFL. So you got a few guys that have the potential to leave as draft eligible guys that would open up more spots for more high school players to sign. And obviously there'll be some transfer portal departures as well after the upcoming season. So, I just look at it that it looks like space is getting tight in this class, but don't believe maybe everything you see and hear, I suppose.
Look at this. Blue Wolverine sends us a super sticker here on Buckeyes Live. So Blue Wolverine, I believe you are locked in on our Michigan channel. Of course, they go live over on the Michigan channel here at the Voice of College Football every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So Buckeye fans, head on over there again Tuesday and Thursday nights with John, TJ, and the crew over there on the Michigan channel. But Blue Wolverine, thank you so much for the contribution there.